Blake Lively's illegal audio evidence problem just got way worse with a shocking order that sent ripples through the entertainment industry. And while headlines flashed and fans gasped at the sheer unexpected twist, it reminded everyone that even the most graceful stars sometimes find themselves surrounded by whispers of confusion and curiosity. Yet what truly defines Blake Lively is not the controversy, but her quiet strength, her laughter behind the camera, and the way she keeps her family at the center of her universe as she walks through the chaos of fame with elegance and resilience. She began her journey not just as the golden girl of Gossip Girl, but as someone who turned every role, every red carpet moment, and every creative collaboration into a reflection of authenticity. Her career blossomed with films like The Age of Adeline and A Simple Favor, where audiences saw her transformation from TV darling to Hollywood powerhouse. And while stories about legal orders and unseen recordings stirred drama in the tabloids, fans continued to see Blake as a figure of confidence and grace, a woman who represents balance between motherhood, marriage, and movie magic. And it's this duality that makes celebrities fascinating. Not just their moments of triumph, but their human side. The parts that remind us they too navigate misunderstandings and media storms, yet still find light in creative expression. And speaking of finding light, few have done it as powerfully as Zendaya, whose rise from a Disney Channel performer to an Emmy-winning actress and global fashion icon shows how modern stardom is built on talent, humility, and vision. She has turned red carpets into stages for self-expression and award shows into celebrations of hard work. Her journey connects deeply with a generation that values identity and creativity over perfection. And when she took on Euphoria, it was more than a role. It was a statement that young artists could tell real, raw stories and inspire empathy across the world. Zendaya's ability to stay grounded through fame mirrors the evolution of modern celebrity culture, where transparency and self-awareness redefine what it means to be admired. It's no longer about unreachable stars, but relatable dreamers, and that same energy shines in people like Timothée Chalamet, who moved from indie films to global blockbusters while keeping a poetic mystery that audiences adore. His quiet charm reminds us that sensitivity is strength and that artistry still lives in subtle moments on screen. And as these new generations rise, we see parallels with veterans who paved the way, like Leonardo DiCaprio, whose long career has balanced activism with art, proving that fame can coexist with purpose. His environmental work has inspired millions, showing that influence can be a tool for change, not just attention. His Oscar win after years of anticipation was not just an award moment, but a cultural victory for patience, perseverance, and dedication. And just as Leo channels passion for the planet, others, like Blake Lively, use their voices for social good. Her ventures into sustainable fashion and child protection charities prove that celebrities today wear their values as proudly as their designer gowns, and when she walks beside Ryan Reynolds, their playful banter and support for each other remind fans that love and laughter remain the best antidotes to the pressures of fame. Speaking of Ryan, his journey from sitcoms to superhero success with Deadpool is a story of resilience. He faced years of rejection before creating a character that broke the fourth wall, and the box office, his humor became his armor, his art, and his superpower. And together, Blake and Ryan represent a rare Hollywood partnership that thrives on authenticity and mutual respect. As the headlines about legal troubles swirl, fans often forget that beyond the noise, these people are creators, dreamers, and doers who give back through storytelling and innovation. And across the ocean in the United Kingdom, another star has redefined what it means to be authentic in fame. Harry Styles, once a boy band heartthrob, now a solo artist and fashion muse, has challenged gender norms and inspired millions to embrace individuality. His success story goes beyond chart-topping hits. It's about courage to evolve, to wear what he feels and sing what he believes. And in doing so, he joins a lineage of artists who use fame as freedom, the same way Lady Gaga turned her eccentricity into empowerment. She once said that fame is a prison, unless you make it your stage, and she has indeed made the world her stage. Blending music, fashion, and activism into one seamless masterpiece, her advocacy for mental health and equality has given fans hope, proving that pop culture can heal hearts and break boundaries at the same time. And speaking of heart, there's no denying that Taylor Swift's evolution from country teen to global phenomenon has rewritten the rules of artistry and ownership. She fought for her music, she stood for her truth, and through every heartbreak album and stadium tour, she taught her listeners the power of storytelling through melody. When fans chant her lyrics, they are not just singing, They are reclaiming pieces of themselves. Taylor's strength shines brightest when the world doubts her, because she transforms pain into poetry and success into solidarity. Her friendship circles, her Easter eggs, her cinematic music videos, all form a universe where fans feel seen and heard. And that's what today's celebrity landscape is about. Connection, not perfection. It's about the quiet power behind the glamour and the relatable humanity beneath the spotlight. We see that with Selena Gomez, who has turned her struggles into advocacy, using her platform to discuss mental health and kindness while building a beauty brand that celebrates real skin, real people, and real confidence. Her journey shows that success is not about escaping vulnerability, but embracing it. And in that sense, the entertainment world keeps evolving, merging storytelling with sincerity from Hollywood to soul, where K-pop icons like BTS have redefined global influence through unity artistry and messages of self-love. Their rise from small label beginnings to stadium-filling legends mirrors the universal hunger for positivity. Their lyrics, their speeches, their fan connections remind the world that music transcends borders, and when they stand on stage under shimmering lights, they carry with them the hopes of millions who find comfort in their harmony. And just like them, the new wave of stars from Latin America, the Middle East, and Africa are proving that talent knows no geography. Artists like Shakira, Bad Bunny, Burna Boy, and Rema bring culture, rhythm, and innovation into the global stage, blending heritage with modernity and changing how fame is shared across languages and lands. Yet amid all this expansion, the heart of stardom remains the same: dreams, determination, and the courage to keep shining even when misunderstood. Much like Blake Lively, who continues to balance creativity with controversy, grace with grit, and privacy with public passion, her ability to stay radiant under scrutiny turns her story from scandal to strength, reminding us that celebrities are not perfect idols, but evolving storytellers, each with their own arcs and audiences. As the digital age blurs lines between truth and speculation, fans now play a bigger role than ever. They are part of the narrative, co-authors of fame through social media and streaming. They decide who rises, who inspires, and who represents their values. This participatory culture has created a new kind of intimacy, where a tweet, a TikTok, or a behind-the-scenes clip can define entire reputations. And in this constantly shifting space, staying authentic is the ultimate achievement. Something stars like Billie Eilish understand deeply. She emerged as a voice for the unconventional and unapologetic, turning insecurities into anthems. Her artistry reminds people that vulnerability is the new cool, that success does not require perfection, only presence. And as she stands with her brother Phineas crafting soundscapes that resonate with emotion, she represents a generation redefining what artistry feels like, not just sounds like. And in this rhythm of fame, from the controversies of Blake Lively to the courage of Billie Eilish, from the elegance of Zendaya to the endurance of Leonardo DiCaprio, we see one unifying melody: the humanity behind the headlines, the kindness behind the cameras, and the artistry that keeps the world dreaming. Absolutely. So let's flow right into part 2, continuing this cinematic rhythm of stories without pause, without punctuation, where the world of celebrities keeps unfolding like a living constellation of dreams and devotion, where behind every photo, shoot, every headline, and every film premiere, there is a pulse of persistence and purpose, because fame, though dazzling, is also demanding. And those who navigate it with love and awareness leave legacies that last beyond awards and trends. As we think of resilience, we can't help but admire people like Robert Downey Jr., whose transformation from personal struggles to superhero redemption became one of Hollywood's most inspiring comeback stories. He turned his pain into power, his chaos into charisma. And when he donned the Iron Man suit, it wasn't just a role. It was a resurrection that taught the world that it's never too late to rewrite your story. And that redemption is one of the most beautiful forms of art. His story intertwines with a generation of actors who have found second chances and peace in their craft, like Drew Barrymore, who began as a child star and lived through storms before becoming one of the most beloved figures in entertainment. Her warmth and openness turned her experiences into empathy. She reminds the world that growth is not linear, but layered with laughter, tears, and lessons. And through her talk show and ventures, she celebrates human stories with authenticity that feels like a comforting hug. And speaking of authenticity, Keanu Reeves has become a symbol of quiet grace in a noisy world, known for his kindness, humility, and generosity. He lives proof that fame and decency can coexist, and when fans call him the internet's favorite person, it's not about memes, it's about meaning. Because his compassion has transcended screens and created a sense of hope in an industry often obsessed with perfection. Similarly, another icon who radiates positivity is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, whose journey from wrestling to Hollywood dominance shows the sheer strength of perseverance. He built his career brick by brick with sweat determination and that signature smile that makes millions feel unstoppable. His story reminds us that charisma alone doesn't build empires. It's consistency, character, and connection that do. And across oceans and Bollywood stars like Shah Rukh Khan carry the torch of global charisma, blending stardom with humility. His journey from a young dreamer in Delhi to a cinematic legend known as the King of Bollywood is the kind of tale that keeps millions believing in the magic of ambition. His charm, his wit, his respect for fans all make him a symbol of universal hope, proving that artistry has no language, barrier. And when he speaks about love and life, it resonates beyond screens and across borders and in a similar light. Priyanka Chopra, Jonas represents the bridge between cultures. She carved a place in Hollywood while honoring her roots, becoming not just an actress, but an ambassador for representation and empowerment. Her journey inspires women worldwide to dream beyond boundaries and embrace their multifaceted identities. And in that global spirit of inspiration, we find Rihanna, a powerhouse of creativity who transformed from pop princess to billionaire businesswoman through fearless innovation. Her beauty line Fenty reshaped the industry by championing inclusivity. Her music, her fashion, and her philanthropy show that success is about building tables, not just taking seats at them. Her influence continues to open doors for the next generation of artists like Doja Cat and Olivia Rodrigo, who are redefining pop culture through individuality and authenticity. Olivia's rise from Disney to chart-topping songwriter is a reminder that vulnerability connects deeper than perfection. Her lyrics echo teenage confusion, heartbreak, and growth, and that relatability made her an instant voice for youth just as earlier generations found comfort in icons like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, whose voices once defined eras of empowerment and struggle. Britney's journey in particular symbolizes the fight for freedom and self-determination in a world that often forgets that celebrities are people, not possessions. Her liberation became a rallying cry for autonomy and compassion, and it inspired not only fans but fellow artists to stand for their own worth and boundaries. Similarly, Demi Lovato's path of self-discovery and healing through music and advocacy continues to empower those who have faced inner battles. She uses her voice to remind people that recovery is not a weakness, but a victory. And in every note she sings, you can feel courage and honesty blending beautifully, and as music continues to evolve, the stage grows larger, with stars from every corner of the world. Artists like Rosalia from Spain blend tradition and futurism, crafting songs that celebrate heritage while breaking genre walls. Her presence shows that innovation thrives when culture and creativity meet. And across Asia, names like Lisa and Jennie from Blackpink shine as examples of how hard work, artistry, and discipline can turn passion into global power. Their influence on fashion, music, and digital culture marks a new chapter in fame where language is no longer a barrier, but a bridge. Their performances are more than choreography. They are cultural dialogues uniting millions, and that unity extends to people like Jungkook from BTS, whose solo ventures have captured hearts worldwide, showing how individuality can bloom even within teamwork. And these global artists remind us that celebrity culture is no longer a Western phenomenon. It's a shared language of dreams that belongs to everyone everywhere. And just like these musicians, film stars continue to push creative boundaries, from Margot Robbie, whose dedication to storytelling turned Barbie into a cultural statement about womanhood and imagination, to Florence Pugh, who fearlessly embraces every role and emotion, showing that strength and softness can coexist. Their artistry speaks to a generation unafraid of depth and dialogue. And in the same creative spirit, filmmakers like Greta Gerwig and Jordan Peele are reshaping the industry with narratives that challenge norms and inspire reflection, proving that the power behind the camera is just as vital as the one in front of it. And as cinema evolves, so does the fashion that frames it. Designers like Zendaya's collaborator, La Roche, or icons like Donatella Versace and Virgil Abloh have turned fashion into a storytelling language, blending identity with innovation. Their work shows that clothing is more than fabric. It's self-expression, confidence, and cultural history stitched together into wearable art. And speaking of art, there's a unique magic in the relationship between celebrities and their fans. The invisible thread that ties fame to feeling when fans wait outside premieres or share edits online. It's not just admiration, it's connection. It's the echo of inspiration bouncing between dreamer and idol. And that relationship has grown deeper in the age of social media, where stars like Charli D'Amelio and Addison Rae built careers by simply sharing their authentic selves, turning creativity into community and influence into entrepreneurship. Their rise reflects how entertainment has democratized, allowing anyone with passion and perseverance to join the global conversation. And as we move further into this era, we see that celebrity is no longer confined to movies and music. It's about creators, activists, athletes, and innovators shaping culture in real time. People like Serena Williams and LeBron James show that greatness extends beyond the game, using their voices for equality and education, reminding us that true legends use their victories to lift others. And in that same light, Greta Thunberg, though not a celebrity in the traditional sense, has influenced millions. Through courage, proving that conviction can shine brighter than any spotlight. And as society evolves, this fusion of fame, activism, and artistry continues to define what it means to be seen, heard, and remembered. Each story, from Blake Lively's Grace Under Fire to Zendaya's Poise to Rihanna's Revolution, threads into a tapestry of modern celebrity, where success is no longer just about glamour, but gratitude, where the applause isn't only for the perfect performance, but for the perseverance it took to reach the stage. And as this journey unfolds across screens and cities, we are reminded that the people behind these stories carry the same hopes, fears, and dreams as anyone else. Their courage to share those emotions with the world makes them more than stars. They become mirrors of humanity, each one reflecting a different shade of resilience, joy, and inspiration. Perfect. Let's flow straight into part 3, continuing this unbroken storytelling stream that celebrates the world of celebrities, their resilience, artistry, kindness, and connection to the people who believe in them. Because the rhythm of fame is not about perfection, but perseverance. And the beauty of this universe is how stories overlap like constellations, forming patterns of courage across generations and continents. So as the echo of Blake Lively's strength continues, we turn to another star whose creative brilliance and family spirit have made her a symbol of empowerment, and that is Beyoncé, whose career embodies vision, precision, and purpose. She has spent decades building not just music, but movements. Her albums are not mere collections of songs, they are cultural conversations, each one layered with themes of heritage, womanhood, and triumph, from Destiny's Child to Lemonade and Renaissance. Her evolution has been both artistic and spiritual, and when she performs it, feels less like a concert and more like communion with millions. Her presence on stage is magnetic, but her humility offstage reminds us that power is quiet and intentional. She has used her influence to uplift Black excellence, promote equality, and redefine what it means to be a global artist. She moves with purpose, like a queen aware of her crown, yet never flaunting it for applause. And that same regal energy can be seen in Jay-Z, her partner in both art and life, whose journey from Brooklyn streets to business mogul reshaped hip-hop history. He turned storytelling into entrepreneurship, music into empire, and legacy into philanthropy. Their partnership mirrors modern power built on creativity, respect, and evolution. Together, they prove that fame can fuel purpose and purpose can sustain fame. And speaking of purpose, we think of Angelina Jolie, who has transformed from Hollywood's most mysterious icon into one of the world's most dedicated humanitarian voices. Her advocacy for refugees, her work with the United Nations, and her unwavering empathy remind us that celebrity can be a megaphone for change. Her journey teaches that true beauty lies in compassion, and that influence is measured not by spotlight but by service. And as we talk about service, it's impossible not to mention Oprah Winfrey, whose rise from humble beginnings to global media legend continues to inspire generations. She turned storytelling into healing, conversation into transformation, and television into a temple of truth. Her interviews are not just questions. They are emotional excavations where people find pieces of themselves. She represents what happens when you lead with intention and gratitude. Her empire stands as proof that success, built on empathy, never fades, and across generations, other icons have followed similar paths, like Ellen DeGeneres, who brought laughter and kindness to millions, reminding the world that joy itself is an act of generosity. And though her journey has faced turbulence, her legacy of positivity remains etched in entertainment history. Laughter, after all, is timeless and contagious, and in the rhythm of change, we see emerging stars, redefining what authenticity looks like on screen. Like Jacob Elordi, whose performances capture both vulnerability and strength, showing that masculinity in modern Hollywood can be soft and introspective. And just as acting evolves, so does fashion, where style storytellers like Bella Hadid and Gigi Hadid transform runways into reflections of personality. Their presence goes beyond glamour. They advocate for mental health and inclusivity, using their platforms for more than beauty. And that spirit flows through fashion icons like Naomi Campbell, who, after decades, still walks with unmatched confidence, representing endurance and elegance. She proves that legacy is not about how long you shine, but how deeply your light impacts others. And in the creative world, no one has embodied transformation quite like Lady Gaga, who continues to reinvent herself from the wild provocateur of early fame to the sophisticated powerhouse blending acting, advocacy, and music into one harmonious identity. Her voice, both literal and metaphorical, reminds fans that it's okay to be different, to evolve, and to embrace contradiction as art. And that message resonates with stars like Miley Cyrus, who has grown from teenage stardom to independent artistry, unafraid to express her truth through reinvention and reflection. She symbolizes the courage to outgrow expectations, to break molds, and rebuild meaning on her own terms. This spirit of freedom threads through artists like Harry Styles, who turns self-expression into liberation, each of them showing that authenticity is the new form of rebellion. And as we look across the horizon of global fame, another continent hums with energy. Africa, whose cultural explosion has brought forth talents like Wizkid Tem's Burna Boy, and era star artists who blend rhythm heritage and modern sound, creating waves that travel far beyond borders. They represent a future where representation and diversity are not trends, but truths, where the world dances to the same heartbeat of unity. And speaking of rhythm, Latin America continues to pulse with its own vibrant creativity. Stars like Bad Bunny, Karol G, and J Balvin have made their culture global through passion and pride, transforming reggaeton and urban music into universal languages of confidence and color. They wear their roots with pride and share them with love, reminding fans everywhere that being authentic to where you come from is the most powerful brand of all. And in the same breath, we turn to Asia's cinematic brilliance with actors like Michelle Yeoh, whose decades-long journey culminated in Oscar glory for Everything Everywhere. All at Once, a film that celebrated chaos, family, and love. She has shown that grace and discipline can cross every barrier and inspire every heart. Her success opened doors for so many who saw themselves reflected on a global stage for the first time, and that wave continues with Simu Liu, who represents a new era of superhero grounded in heritage, humor, and hope. Their stories reflect the global truth that fame can be a bridge, not a wall, a dialogue, not a monologue. And that's what makes this era of celebrity so thrilling. It's not about separation, but connection. It's about people using visibility to create belonging. And that belonging also finds form in the creative spaces of digital stars like Emma Chamberlain, who transformed casual conversation into an art form, turning YouTube into a medium of mindfulness and humor. Her evolution from quirky vlogger to fashion muse represents how new media stars can hold the same cultural power as traditional celebrities by simply being real. And as we move forward through these intertwining lives, we see patterns of humility, perseverance, and hope. Whether it's Blake Lively facing public speculation with elegance, or Zendaya balancing fame with integrity, or Beyoncé turning every performance into empowerment, they all share the same invisible thread. They understand that fame is fleeting, but impact is eternal. They understand that connection is stronger than controversy, and that kindness lasts longer than any headline. And so the journey continues through every award show, every viral moment, every heartfelt interview, through laughter, tears, and applause as the story of fame keeps writing itself in the language of resilience, because at the end of it all, behind the lights, there are people who dare to dream louder, love harder, and live bolder than the world expects. And in doing so, they remind us that we too can find pieces of our own courage in their journeys. Beautiful, let's drift seamlessly into part 4, where the rhythm of celebrity life continues to unfold like an endless song, echoing with passion, perseverance, and purpose, because every spotlight hides stories of struggle, and every smile hides years of practice and patience. And it is in these unseen chapters that true greatness is born. As we continue to move through this constellation of stars, we arrive at someone whose career has embodied transformation, resilience, and artistry. Jennifer Lopez. Her story began with a dream in the Bronx and grew into a global phenomenon. She danced, sang, acted, and conquered an industry that once doubted her. Proving that talent knows no boundaries, she became a symbol of strength for dreamers everywhere. Her performances radiate discipline. Her music carries confidence, and her fashion defines entire eras. Yet behind all of that glamour is a woman who built her empire through self-belief and relentless dedication. She represents the idea that it's never too late to evolve, that success is a marathon, not a moment, and that identity is something to be celebrated, not hidden. And alongside her, another icon of reinvention. Madonna continues to inspire generations through her audacity to change, to provoke, to reinvent. She taught the world that reinvention is not betrayal, it's survival, and that art is meant to evolve just like its creator. Her boldness paved the way for countless artists who came after her, showing that courage and creativity go hand in hand, and this courage lives on in people like Taylor Swift, who turned storytelling into an empire. She writes with a pen dipped in honesty, crafting worlds that mirror our emotions, and turning personal experiences into universal poetry. Her journey reminds us that vulnerability is power, and that self-reinvention is the heartbeat of longevity. Each era of hers becomes a time capsule of growth, a reminder that we all change but can still remain true to ourselves. And speaking of authenticity, one cannot ignore the grace of Adele, whose voice cuts through noise and speaks straight to the soul. Her songs are letters of love and loss. Her performances are confessions wrapped in melody. She proves that raw emotion will always resonate louder than trends. She stands as a beacon for artists who choose truth over image and heart over hype. And when she laughs on stage, it feels like a shared moment between friends, because that's what true connection in art feels like. And as these voices continue to shape our world, others are writing their own chapters with passion, like Ariana Grande, who began as a Broadway prodigy and blossomed into one of pop's most powerful voices. She embodies the modern star, balancing strength with softness, fame with faith, and despite personal tragedy, she continues to use her music as healing. Her fans see her as both superstar and sister, someone who sings their pain back to them and turns it into beauty. And then there's Dua Lipa, whose confident rise shows the importance of knowing your worth and walking in your power. She took risks, she created her own sound, and she built a brand of self-assurance that speaks to everyone chasing their dreams. Her journey is proof that preparation meets opportunity when you refuse to give up. And in the same vibrant rhythm, Billie Eilish continues to challenge what pop can sound and feel like. Her art strips away the illusion of perfection, making space for honesty and experimentation. She is a reminder that being different is not a flaw, but a flame that lights your own path. And beside her, her brother Phineas is the quiet architect, proving that behind every great star, there are dreamers building worlds in the background. And these sibling stories reflect how fame is rarely an individual act. It's often a collective effort of family, friends, and faith. And across the ocean, new voices rise in waves, like Sabrina Carpenter, whose artistry has matured from innocence to empowerment. And she too reminds us that every ending births a new sound, a new self. And while music thrives, cinema continues to captivate with icons like Tom Cruise, whose commitment to his craft defies time. His daring stunts and energy make him not just an actor, but a phenomenon. He reminds audiences of the thrill of storytelling and the beauty of dedication. Through decades, he's kept the fire alive, proving that consistency is one of the rarest forms of brilliance. And alongside him, actors like Meryl Streep represent timeless excellence. With her every role, she disappears completely into character, turning scripts into symphonies. Her grace, intelligence, and empathy have shaped the art of acting itself, showing that mastery comes from curiosity, not arrogance, and her influence extends to younger generations, like Florence Pugh, Saoirse Ronan, and Emma Stone, who are redefining what it means to be a modern actress, unafraid to blend humor, emotion, and truth. Each of them lights up the screen with authenticity, showing that vulnerability is the soul of performance. And beyond Hollywood, we see the creative power of stars, like Lupita Nyong'o, whose work in film and literature bridges art and activism. Her poise and strength have made her a voice for representation and empowerment. She shows that beauty and brilliance are inseparable, and that self-love is the foundation of all greatness. And in that same light, we find actors like Michael B. Jordan, whose journey from supporting roles to producing blockbusters shows the importance of creating opportunities for others. His work behind the camera reflects the evolution of celebrity into leadership, showing that power grows when shared. And on the other side of, storytelling directors like Ava DuVernay continue to change narratives, bringing untold stories to the forefront. Her films challenge perceptions and inspire dialogue, reminding audiences that cinema is more than entertainment. It's empathy in motion. And speaking of empathy, no one embodies it. Quite like Robin Williams, whose legacy still glows in the hearts of millions, his laughter healed generations, and his kindness transcended his roles. His life reminds us that humor and heartbreak often coexist, and that the most beautiful souls are those who make others smile, even when they are struggling inside. And that lesson resonates today as the entertainment industry grows more open about mental health. Stars like Selena Gomez-Demi, Lovato, and Shawn Mendes lead with honesty, breaking stigmas and reminding fans that fame doesn't protect anyone from being human. Instead, it amplifies the importance of self-care and connection. And while they heal themselves, they help heal others through conversation and creativity, and this wave of openness has changed how the public views celebrities. They are no longer distant figures, but relatable voices who share their journeys of growth with courage and transparency. And in that way, they become companions on our own journeys. Their art becomes guidance, their resilience becomes reassurance, their vulnerability becomes validation. And that's the real magic of fame, when it stops being about glamour and becomes about grace. And as we return to the heart of this story, to Blake Lively, who sparked this reflection, we see her once again standing tall amid the noise and news, smiling for her children, embracing her husband, supporting her causes, and building her creative future. She reminds us that storms pass, but character remains, and that being misunderstood never diminishes your truth, because truth, like talent, always finds its way to the light. Her story continues as a reminder to all who dream to create, to endure, and to keep shining even when shadows fall. Because beyond every headline, there is always a heartbeat, and that is what keeps the world of celebrities human and beautiful. If you love motivational storytelling, celebrity journeys, and cinematic narratives that feel like a friend talking to your heart, this video is for you. Comment below your favorite celebrity story and tell us who inspires you most. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to never miss more inspiring documentaries.